And ma'am, your name?
Andrea Will.
Okay, today was the date that was scheduled for hearing. This is for non-payment of rent. My understanding is that you did not come to a resolution.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, so ma'am, you believe that you have a lawful reason to withhold the rent?
I can't make an agreement now. I'm waiting for DHS to send me information, and
Send you information about what?
I don't.
Ma'am, I asked you a very
I
specific
did.
question.
I'm trying to answer it.
No, you didn't. Do you have a lawful reason to withhold the rent?
Not all the rent, but the court fees and the attorney fees and all that. And
What's the
plus, I'm
lawful-
trying to get help.
What is the lawful reason?
The lawful reason is because I told her I'd be there that day to pay both months. I got robbed and beat in the head on the riverfront the month before, and I got behind. I went in the office that day,
Well,
so
those
I
don't
be there
quali-
that afternoon, and she
Those are
filed.
unfortunate reasons, but they're not lawful reasons. So a
But-
lawful reason to withhold the rent would be like,
And not just saying that.
ma'am, the lawful reason will be something like there was, you were illegally locked out of the property, or there was a condition with the property that infringe on your ability to enjoy or stay in the property, like a health condition in there. Not what you're talking about is personal.
No, not if the riverfront part of the property.
Excuse me?
Is the riverfront where it happened part of the property?
No.
Well, there is another reason. There are other reasons. Yes.
Okay, well, I asked you what the lawful reason. I only want
I don't
lawful
know
reason.
what I don't know the law you guys do, but I knew that I had to file for help by the 5 days after the last one, and I did. And when I got here, I haven't gotten anything from DHS yet responding to me yet. When
Okay,
I got here, I realized I didn't
so
have my phone, so I can't.
you're
prove
saying
it.
that you applied for help
Yes.
with DHS,
Yes.
but the video said if you applied, you had to file proof within 5 days.
I called the court though, and they said
Where's
to
the
bring it
proof
when I came
that you filed?
here.
Oh, did you get paid more than
And
$200?
They weren't even here.
Do you get paid more than $200 to be here?
Yes.
I sure hope you do.
They were not even
Do you
here.
know how much his hourly rate is?
Why are you saying I don't have to pay, and then you're saying that?
I didn't say you
I
didn't have to pay. There's a statutory amount if you are evicted or there's a judgment against you. There's a statutory amount that's imposed, but I can guarantee you it only covers his gas money.
They haven't done anything for me.
They're not representing you.
But you know what?
They represent the landlord.
She was fair. She filed it $288.
I don't know what you're talking about. That has nothing to do with this case.
Why? She's part of the case.
Who's
I don't
she?
understand.
Who is
The
she?
manager of the apartment.
She is there. They are suing you.
I know.
The
And they
attorney
shouldn't
does
have,
not
because I told her
represent
I'd be
you.
there that day to pay it, and she filed at 3 o'clock in the afternoon with the attorney.
The
Why?
attorney
So
does
she-
not represent you, ma'am.
I didn't say he did, but why am I paying him then?
When did you pay him?
Last time I was brought to court, they made me pay $185
In this
court
case,
fees.
or a
No,
different
the
eviction?
first one.
We're not talking,
Here,
we are
same
not talking
apartment.
about any eviction other than the one you
Same
did for
apartment.
today.
I didn't. wasn't
Judgment for the
evicted.
plaintiff.
I wasn't evicted.
I'm not gonna deal with
I
this.
want a hearing. I want to try.
This was a hearing, but you can't comply with the hearing because you think you're gonna talk over me and you're gonna,
I'm not wanting
and
to
you're not
understand
following-
why. I don't understand what I should do until I know the facts. Because I mean, why? I don't know if I approve of what I owe because I don't know what I owe when they check on other charges
you
later.
owe $829.54 plus court cost of $178.54 for a total amount of $1,008.08. You need to pay that in full or you're going to vacate the property by Monday, September 29, 2025, okay?
I filed for help. So what do I do about that?
You need to, we advised you of your rights when you came last time. We said if you had proof that you had a promise to pay
I
from
did.
an agency,
I left it.
talk over me one more time, I won't bother to
Sorry.
explain it.
I have
If,
anxiety.
talk over,
ma'am. I'm
okay,
sorry.
well then, if you know what helps your anxiety,
It's not this.
to relax and calm down. So just listen. He said if you have proof that you had a promise to pay from an agency, you need to file that proof within 5 business days.
They told me I had to apply within 5 business days.
That's not what it says,
That's what they said. It was my first new thing.
ma'am. Do you know how many times a week I listen to that video?
She said 5 days.
It says you need to provide proof within 5 business days, not apply within 5 business days.
I think
And you've not even gotten anything that said that they were going to pay the past due.
I
amount.
haven't gotten anything from them yet.
Correct. So you need, the judgment's going to enter as of today because you have not been able to come to a resolution. If you do get proof or a promise to pay, you can bring that to the court. And then that way, maybe that the court can withhold the writ if you move to the writ date, or maybe they'll give you an extension if they're gonna get a promise to pay. But you gotta get the past due rent paid.
So didn't want to do that until I knew what the total amount was.
The total is $1,008.
But I haven't gotten anything in writing from them yet that that's what it was. I got a 288.
You got a 288?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
When they filed, that's how much the amount said.
Is that how much your monthly rent is?
It was close to late fees, I think.
288 is your monthly rent?
244.
244 plus late fees. Is that accurate, Mr. Garlinghouse?
Yes, Your Honor. And at the time of filing, it was $311.54 that was owed.
That was what
And that was
month?
back in July.
It's September, man. We're almost in October.
I haven't gotten anything else since I filed 2 or 3 weeks ago with DHS.
I don't know why you thought you was gonna get something else from your landlord. What else were they? You know
the total amount that I owe.
You know your rent is due every month.
I know that.
Have you been
gonna
paying
pay
it?
her both months on the beginning of last month, but she filed with the attorney, so I decided not to do anything until I found out what the total amount was due. Because if I paid anything, then DHS might turn me down and say, "You already paid it. We're not helping." That's what I was told by somebody else.
I don't know who told you that, but I do know that you owe $1,008.08, and you gotta pay that or vacate by the September 29th date. If DHS does give you a promise to pay, you should bring that down to the court, take it to the clerk's office, and then we'll see if we can hold off on a writ date for you, okay?
Okay, can I ask a question?
Yes.
You do a lot of the Section 8.
Do I deal with
I
Section?
just wondered if, because I talked to them on Zoom, I had a breakout session with the attorney and the manager, and I said, I don't know what's going on, maybe it's not a good fit. Do you have to be on Section 8 for a year to be able to transfer to another, get a voucher to another place?
Well, if you're in Section 8 and you have a voucher, I think you have a lease that you have to comply with, but I know you can't get an eviction on your record if you have Section 8, because that can impact your Section 8.
Right. But I remember the attorney in the breakout said if they forgive the cost if I did, I just didn't.
I don't know. You are on Section 8?
I am.
So then you should have been trying to work out an agreement with them so that you can keep your Section 8, because if you get a
She out of her office when I talked to her, and she filed. I went down to their office and told them I was paying that day, and she filed at 3:00 in the afternoon. That's why I was upset.
Okay, but
She didn't wait and told everybody in the lobby in front of everybody.
If it was late, she doesn't have to wait till 3. It was.
She said I went in the office and said I would be down there that day, and she filed before I got there that day. There was another person in the office that gave her that information. So it was like she retaliated.
Okay, but you went down and paid your rent?
I wouldn't after she filed with the attorney.
If you had to pay the rent,
I had it. I was going to.
She could have dismissed it if you had to pay the rent.
But she did it before I even had a chance.
Doesn't matter.
I thought she did it just to get attorney's fees from me again. No,
I
it
can
didn't make sense to
I
me.
can guarantee you they're paying more than what you have to pay attorney's fees. It's costing them money. It is costing money for them to hire an attorney. And the statutory attorney fee that they're imposing upon you is not the cost that they're expending to hire legal counsel.
Yeah, but I've never seen their legal counsel. How do I know they're doing that and not just giving
it doesn't matter. They're not representing you.
No, but you know what? They should show proof just as well, right?
They don't. No, they shouldn't.
If I'm paying them, they should.
You're not paying their attorney.
I was.
No, the court is imposing a statutory attorney fee because you required them to get an eviction.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. You didn't pay your rent.
I told her to be there by 5.
Okay, you're all
she
set,
filed
ma'am.
at 3.
You can be excused.
So that's ridiculous. I'm sorry. I don't mean to disrespect you. I really don't.
I can't help you I can't explain this anymore to you.
I don't understand.
Okay, I get it. Then you need to go and seek counsel to get someone to explain it to you. And he is not your attorney. He is their attorney. Okay?
He's not the one that, but not according to their paperwork on my filing. Okay, so that's why I don't understand. I've not been able to get them to respond to me or call me. I've tried to change the last court date to see my son one time, and he downtown to court at the same time. And I remember your pretrial. You were, I think, trying to see your son. And then they said that. But that has nothing to do with this case, ma'am. Well, the court tells me that the only person that could change the change of date was the attorney for them, and they didn't even try. And then they told me, no, we can't. When I was in the breakout room, so I don't trust someone like me. Who's right, the court or not? They don't represent you, ma'am. I'm saying he was right. He said he couldn't change the court date. He couldn't change the court date. He didn't say it. The one that said that the only one that could change the court date is the attorney. I'm the court.
I didn't say that.
They said, no, I called the court. They said,
You called the
only one
clerk's
that can change
office.
it is their attorney.
You called the clerk's office.
Yes.
The clerk's office told you that if you want the court date changed, that you needed probably permission from them
Right.
so that you can request the court dates to be changed.
But they wouldn't respond.
They didn't want the court date changed. They want their money.
They didn't. They said they couldn't.
They don't have to.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
This courtroom exchange centers on a tenant, Andrea Will, who is facing eviction due to non-payment of rent. During the hearing, the judge asks her directly whether she has a lawful reason for withholding rent. While Andrea attempts to explain her situation, mentioning that she was robbed and is waiting for assistance from DHS, the judge makes it clear that these are personal hardships, not legally valid reasons to withhold rent. The judge explains that lawful reasons would involve issues directly related to the property, such as unsafe living conditions or illegal actions by the landlord, none of which apply in this case. As the discussion continues, Andrea becomes increasingly frustrated and confused, especially regarding court fees, attorney fees, and the total amount she owes. She argues about past payments and misunderstandings with the landlord and legal process, but the judge repeatedly emphasizes that those issues are not relevant to the current case. The court clarifies that the landlord's attorney does not represent her, and that the fees imposed are standard in eviction proceedings. Despite Andrea's claims that she applied for financial help, she failed to provide proof within the required timeframe, which weakens her position legally. Ultimately, the judge rules in favor of the landlord, issuing a judgment that requires Andrea to either pay the full amount owed, over $1,000 including court costs, or vacate the property by a set date. The judge does note that if Andrea later receives proof of financial assistance, she may return to court to request a delay or reconsideration. The exchange highlights how misunderstandings of legal procedures, combined with emotional stress, can make situations worse for defendants who are unprepared or unaware of their rights and responsibilities.